Welcome back to Jade and Jay. We're actually splitting up a multiple part recording here. We're going to be talking about homosexuality. And since it's such a complex discussion, we're going to have to split it up multiple ways. So, this first part is going to be more directed towards what we represent, which is the black and brown community.
Yeah, it's just basically like Jay said, us talking about homosexuality once again from a man's perspective and a female's perspective. Our thoughts on it. Probably two more audios of them on the subject, and we're just gonna get right into it. We don't mean nothing by it. Don't want anyone to take offense to it, but it's just once again our thoughts. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. We always appreciate it, and we're just gonna get right into it.
Yeah, and again, no disrespect towards anybody, and we will tap into more of the psychology of it in the future recordings, but it really is a very sensitive topic, homosexuality, to break it down. You and I are both hetero. We've been married for multiple years, more than 15 years, and it's a shame that we don't really see a lot of this. We don't see a lot of strong black or brown married couples that stay together, are actually, in love, are best friends, try to make it work, are there together, co-parenting for their children, and try to represent a strong heterosexual environment for their children.
And there's not a lot of black men that are strong that you see out there. There's not too many alpha males, I should say.
Right.
Strong black leaders. It's the what they wear, the message that they're putting out. It's ultimately the lifestyle. And I guess the easiest way I can put it is, for me, it bothers me when you see gay black men out there when there's bigger issues going on than being gay.
Right.
I mean, a comedian Dave Chappelle made a comment about it, or a joke about it. You should check it out on any kind of streaming services. But to paraphrase some of it is that some black guys choose to be gay to get protection because it's easier to get under that gay umbrella than it is to just stand strong on what you believe in. It is black men out there choosing to be gay because they realize, as the world is progression, that that's the only kind of protection they can get.
Right. And I was going to ask you about that since speaking from your perspective as a black man, you're not omitted from any of the other, challenges that black young men growing up to be, young boys to black men. You're not omitted from any type of racism or non-privileged rights or anything. You had to go through.
Any black and brown man knows that in America it's hard. We got so many things against us. It's really hard. And it messes with your psychology, which is, like you alluded to, we're going to tap into that on another one. But it's hard for us, and it gets to them so bad that the only way they can get protection is to be gay.
Right.
Push this agenda.
Right.
America's doing. This isn't to advocate or condone any kind of violence towards the system. It's just a solution to that, as we always say, is just to take a look at the circumstances, look for a solution, and then just execute it, man, to be what you're supposed to be, a man's man.
Right. And I don't think, just from my perspective, and we'll tap into more of the female's perspective, in a few, but from what I've observed in the black and brown community, there are not a lot of outlets, if and again, we're going to tap into more of the household in the future, but there's not a lot of places where, young black or brown, young boys can go to where they feel, okay, I'm coming across challenges. What's some advice? Where can they go to get advice? Where have you been able to go? Was there anything? It used to be the church.
Yeah.
But now the church, in the black church, they're allowing, they're bending to the ways of this whole LGBT.
Whatever letters they want to throw in the mix. But yeah, I mean, when we was little, it seems as we knew about homosexuality as men, but if we had the church, which is what we went to, we already knew the answer to that.
Right.
Read the scripture. This is what God, Jesus says. Whoop de woo, bam. You go on about your life. But
Right.
nowadays, it's the norm now.
Yeah.
And that's it
It's-
ain't cool. It's just I'm realizing as the years go by, as a man, black man, that this agenda of homosexuality towards men is bending even the church.
Right. And I never thought it would bend in the ways that it did. I mean, again, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. If this is what you feel like, is your calling or what you want or need to do, that is
But
what it is.
real quick, Jay, there's more black men dying of HIV and AIDS
Right.
than white people.
Yeah, I mean, please, listeners, do your research.
Yeah,
It's
do
not
your
hard
research.
to find.
I'm not gonna pull up statistics and give you all these numbers, but
Black men are dying.
Yeah, and right behind that is Latino men.
Right. And it seems like it's too acceptable. When we were young growing up, you can even go back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, hundreds of years ago. It just seems like the more we're moving forward in time, the more acceptable homosexuality is, and the less acceptable is the pro-blackness. Oh, we're gonna call out this black athlete for turning her back on the flag. But you should turn your back on the
Shout out
American
to
flag.
Glenn.
Yeah, shout out. If you're gonna turn your back on the American flag, you have reasons to do that. But don't turn your back on your femininity, or for men,
Right.
your masculinity. You are born a certain way. Unless you have the paperwork to prove that, hey, I was born with this kind of
Right.
this dysfunction.
I, as a black man, and many other men out there, refuse to put a gay agenda before our own cultural needs.
Exactly.
It's more important to me to see black people progress than being gay and seeing their sexual preferences. We don't even, as black people, have a flag.
Right.
We got flags in Africa as far as the countries that we're from.
Pan-African,
Pan-African. We don't have an African American flag, our everyday black guy flag. No, but they got this kind of flag for this kind of group, this gay, and it all falls under that umbrella. I'm not putting a gay person's needs before my own, let alone my own people.
I was so disgusted recently by a music video that just had all black men. And at first I was like, oh, it's just some strippers, but it was all black men dancing, dressed as females.
Something that was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, and it was so disturbing, disgusting, and I've studied psychology, so to me, I immediately go into, man, what is causing these black men to just put their blackness to the side and say, you know what, I'm gonna put it out there that I'm gay.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't see any white men doing that. And even though I know that white men are gay, but to see black men, dressed in feminine attire, dancing like women, it really hurt me because of the young black men that would watch something like this and look at it like, oh, hey, I guess this is an option for me. And
it's two things in the black community, black and brown community, specifically the black community, African American, that kills us more than AIDS, which is bullets and cancer. Right. So we already got to fight those statistics, and then right behind that is being, dying of HIV, of being gay. Then we got too many problems, man.
Don't forget about COVID. That's killing us too.
That's killing us too, whether you believe it or not. It affects our community, black and brown, more than anybody else. And we already got to combat these issues too. It's more important than walking down New York Street parading with a damn flag.
Yeah, and I love rainbows. Just speaking on nature, anytime I've ever seen a rainbow outside, I've ran out there, grabbed the kids. Hey, this is beautiful. Our youngest one loves rainbows. I mean, there's you find a young child out there, specifically a girl, who don't love a rainbow. But it's hard to buy anything, whether it be, an accessory or a item of clothing that represents a rainbow without having it in the front of my mind. Like, hey, I don't want to send out the wrong message. I want to buy this rainbow pencil for my child, but I don't want to send a message that she's gay, or she's a homo, or she's a lesbian, or whatever the initials stand for.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of wish the flag was never, created out of a rainbow, because a rainbow is a beautiful natural thing. But being anything other than
That's a
hetero,
choice.
that is a choice.
We can't choose to not wake up and not be black or brown. We can't choose that, but y'all can choose to be gay. That is clearly a choice. And even in the Civil Rights Bill, it didn't even cater to black people.
No.
It catered to gay people. Your sexual preferences, you can do what you
Right.
want to do. The Civil Rights Bill, it did not say black and brown people.
And I think a lot of black and brown people are afraid to come out, and they're afraid to be more pro black and brown. And I believe that they feel like if they represent who they truly are, they won't get certain, jobs or certain roles. But to be a part of the LGBTQ community, I believe, through what we're seeing, you're protected, you get advanced in life.
Yeah, you get protection if you're under that umbrella. But as a
Yes.
black man, you don't do that. And we don't get that. So I'm telling you, black guys are running toward that umbrella because they realize that, man, this gives me protection, man.
Right, right. And even at jobs, I've seen people who, the whole harassment thing at a certain, work in a workforce environment, it seems like it protects homosexuality way more than it protects discrimination against someone who's black or brown.
And it's a shame also because we all know our ancestors didn't fight the fight they fought just so we can choose to be like this. They fought the fault they did so we can choose to have a prosperous life, not lose our identity. We already lost our names as
Right.
black people, and we're
Right.
trying to get that back if we don't name them anything too crazy.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, and just to add to that, they fought so they could also vote. But a lot of black and brown people are afraid to vote, or they just don't think that it's important. But go back hundreds and hundreds of years ago and tell your ancestors the reasons why you didn't vote, and watch, if you could go back in time, you would see that they would be saddened by the fact that you're choosing not to try to make a change because they didn't have those rights.
Right.
But, not to stray, too far off. But, again, please leave your comments. I know this is a very sensitive and touchy subject. There are, I'm pretty sure whoever's listening is a combination of homo, hetero, black, brown, white, different races.
It's just, you don't see a lot of black men, old black men. Mm-hmm. It's like, for me, it's like seeing it's like they're extinct almost. Yeah. Older black men.
Yeah.
If you see an old black man that isn't full of hell or nice,
yeah.
Yo, give him a nod, man, because we don't see a lot. We die young, man.
Right.
Yo, bullets and cancer, man. Then put AIDS on there. Then put, obviously the specific statistics of black on black crime.
Right.
So
right.
Kill all that noise, man. We're black men. We're supposed to be strong, man. We're not supposed to be weak, even though they want us to.
Right. Right. And again, we're going to tap more into the psychology of all this and the household. And, but I really believe this is a good introduction to this topic. Thanks again for listening. It's Jade and Jay keeping it real.
Peace and love.